mid-season, the wild card race is getting crazy, and who's making it? Like, who do we got? AFC, NFC. Who's going to the offs? Who's taking those wild card spots? I got up on the board for us, AFC, NFC. We're going to go AFC first because it's a shorter list. And I'll just name you who's in those spots right now. We have the Ravens, Chargers, and Broncos who occupy the 3 wild card spots right now. A few of those could probably be interchangeable. We got teams in their division. But, Mark, we got the Colts, Bengals, and Jets in the hunt. Who do you got taking the 3 wild card spots?
I think this is pretty easy for me. Ravens, 100% in.
Locked in.
There's no chance
do you think they win their division, or do you think...
Yes, they win the division.
So they overtake the Steelers?
I think they win the AFC.
Okay.
I just think Baltimore made great moves at the deadline too. Think that they are gonna. I think they're set.
Okay.
I think the Chargers are playing above their head. I hate to say it because you like to root for the small ball teams, and they really didn't do much in the offseason other than unload a lot of pieces. But shit, man, they're still playing really good ball.
Please don't curse.
I said yeah, the S word. Yeah. I think the Chargers are out. I think the Broncos are out. Colts there, man, it's tough. I think the Colts are out. Bengals in. And believe it or not, I think they might have turned it around, and I think they're the media darling, and I think Goodell is going to make sure that the Jets make the playoffs. So my 3, it'll be either the Ravens or the Steelers, whoever doesn't win a division. I actually think the Ravens win that division, so I actually think it's going to be Pittsburgh, Cincinnati, and the Jets.
Okay. All right. So this is going to be very boring because I think it's the 3 teams that are there. So I think there's a chance the Ravens win the division. Obviously, they have a chance. Them dropping games against terrible teams does worry me a little bit that it could happen one more time. But Ravens/Steelers there, I'll say the Ravens. I'll take the Steelers finishing it off and winning the division. So I have Ravens. I'm sticking with the Chargers. The Chargers are a well-coached team. They're not going to make many mistakes, and they're finally opening up the playbook because Justin Herbert is healthy. Quentin Johnson went for over 100 yards. Palmer looks pretty damn good for a 3rd wide receiver right now, and Herbert looks great. J.K. Dobbins looks good. They're not going to beat themselves. I like the Chargers. I think they have everything you need to win the games they need to win. Defense, running game, good quarterback, great coaching. And the Broncos, a lot of the same. They're finally opening up, taking the governor off Bo Nix, letting him throw the ball. They play great defense, and they got a good coach. There's not a lot of games they're going to go into where they're going to be out-coached. I like the Broncos. The Colts, I don't think they have the firepower to keep going. I love Joe Flacco, but Flacco's going to have some not-so-Flacco games for sure. The Bengals got a gauntlet coming up the next 3 weeks. I have to see how they get through that before I say they're going to come all the way back because I mean, their resurgence has been beating the Browns, the Giants, nobody that you really care about.
No respectable team.
Yeah, no, not right now. And I love the Giants, but they're just not that. And the Jets, while I do think they have a puncher's chance here, here's what worries me about them is they have a bunch of winnable games. The Cardinals are not as winnable of a game as we thought a couple weeks ago.
Right.
But let's say they win that game. I still think there's a chance they have another clunker along the way. I mean, they basically had to play almost perfect ball, and they already lost to the Broncos. So if they wind up evening up with them down the road, the Broncos have the tiebreaker. So for me, that's why I have the Broncos.
Tell you what, Bo Nix has got a little whipper on him, too. That guy can really slang the rock.
Yeah, he can. So let me just, for the clip, I have the Ravens, Chargers, and Broncos making the AFC wildcards. All right, so let's move on to the NFC. In the NFC, right now, we have the Vikings, Eagles, and Packers occupying the first 3 spots. In the hunt, we have the Bears, the 49ers, the Rams, the Bucks, the Seahawks, and we'll throw in the Cowboys, but maybe we don't need to. Who you got making the playoffs?
I hate all 3 of the teams that are currently in there. I mean, if you could not have drawn up a more who's who of who I can't stand.
But I didn't draw it up. They're there.
I know you didn't. I know that. I'm talking about the NFL and them some bitch.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah, that makes sense.
Writers.
Yeah, thank you for censoring yourself.
The Vikings, I want to think that they're playing well above their head, but they keep going out there and they keep playing good ball. The Eagles, I think implosion loading. I think it's only a matter of time. The Packers, I think we kind of seen who the Packers are going to be going forward here. You know what? Take all three of them out of there.
All three.
I hate all three. None of them are making it. Caleb Williams going to end the year on a high note.
Okay.
Chicago is going to get in there, even though they do have the hardest strength of schedule going forward.
Okay, it's very
All
bold
right.
of you. Okay.
It is very bold. Not Homer at all.
Nope.
None. No Homer. I got Chicago. CMC is back in town, baby.
Okay.
All right. San Fran, if CMC returns to himself, I know they're without Brandon Ayuk, but you know what? Brandon Ayuk took himself out of the season early anyway with how he was playing. I think you get Debo back, you get Kittle playing at a high caliber tight end position, and then you sprinkle in a couple other playmakers. I think San Fran can pull it off. And I don't know, man. I like Stafford. I like the Rams. I like them getting Kupp and Puka back. I like Kyron Williams. I like everything about the Rams. Their defense is actually playing pretty solid ball. I think, obviously I'm going out on a limb here saying that the three currently holding the positions are all out.
Yeah.
But I think that if they were to lose ground, it would be to the three teams I mentioned. Obviously, Chicago being the least likely of the three that I mentioned getting in. But more than likely, it's going to be the Vikings. More than likely, it's going to be the Eagles, which you can't stand, and probably the Rams.
So you say it. You got Eagles, Vikings, Rams.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't want to.
Okay, you
But I
sound
will.
sad. Shut up. All right. So let's say Seahawks, Cowboys. I'm taking out the Bucks. Although I love them, they needed that game last night. They don't get Evans back. Sorry, till next week. So for me, kind of puts them behind the 8 ball. The Bears. I really like the Bears roster. I don't like their coaching staff. I think the players don't like the coaching staff.
They've given up.
And for that reason, that's why I think they don't make the playoffs here. The 49ers, I think it's too little too late. I think the 49ers missed the playoffs. I'm sorry. I think there's two better teams in that division than them right now, and I don't have the 49ers making it. So I do have the Rams in there, but I'm struggling with who doesn't make it because I think the Rams are going to come on strong and make the playoffs. If I'm looking at it just across the board, I'm gonna take the Packers out. I think Jordan Love's injury deal going on right now worries me a little bit. I think he can miss time again, even though they're a really well-coached team. Detroit kind of showed them up. The Vikings I think they'll be, with the fast start they had, I think they'll maintain. And unfortunately, with Saquon Barkley right now, I think the Eagles are going to be able to withstand and hold on to their wild card spot because I just think they're going to be able to bully some teams around a little bit. So for me, it's going to be Vikings, Eagles, and the Rams sneaking in towards the end of the season.
Well,
That's my NFC. Huh?
We both have the same.
Did we? I didn't even realize that.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, there you go. That's the NFC playoff wild card picture. And peace.
So you.